How y'all doing tonight? What up? What up? What up? This is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks. Shout out to Judge Dre and Juan G's. What's going on, fellas? Thanks for coming, and I'm gonna start a little something called a forward. That is forward being something that I will, little take 10 or 15 minutes to speak on certain things before I get to the actual topic. So, um, plus, it'll give people a chance to get their notifications, excuse me, telling them that I'm on the air so they can start coming to the broadcast. Yeah, so as always, be mindful of what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Asking you to like this video. If you have a social media, share it wherever you can. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe to the channel. Um, just uh, just a couple of things of note also in there. But whatever I use as far as news articles, fair use. This is for entertainment purposes only. Um, so yeah, so it's forward of where I've been and you know why the algorithm probably wouldn't be very good to me because of as of late what many would call a lack of consistency. But I have to admit to you guys that just feeling the sting of discouragement, and I know that's a sign of weakness, but I mean, after everything that I've seen, and I mean, I've seen like a lifetime worth of shit in the past couple of weeks. Number one, the revealing that this whole saying that black men are hated is not something that I say basically to try to elicit some pity or sympathy or to get people to feel sorry for me or feel sorry for black men as a collective because basically with what I've seen a lot of black men are encouraging our own destruction. Man, let me tell you something. In the past 2 3 weeks I ain't never seen so many brothers fold in my life. And it takes some special incidences to expose this kind of thing. It's just it's really sad to see, as a brother who I consider myself to be very very small in the media. I just do a small podcast called Black Men Being Brutally Honest, which is considered a live stream. And as many of you have heard lately, that these so-called live streams have been ruining the place for God knows whatever reason. And that's one of the things right there. You have these guys who have been down through it and they have all this experience and they can help the community of brothers that is trying to get to the points where they're trying to get to as well. But it instead of them doing that, which, before I say anything else, let me tell you, I don't have this belief that anyone owes me anything. But when you do the opposite, then that's when people like me have the right to respond to such shenanigans as people people who are introduced to this kind of thing. A person that thought that they could never have a voice in something like this, all of a sudden it becomes easy because of a soft streaming software such as StreamYard. So why discourage a person like that? Why say something when you've already made it? Why say something like live streaming is ruining the manosphere or whatever space that we like to refer to around here? It just Just that kind of thing. The kind of thing seeing that you see all these guys who have the same skin color as you, who are perceived alphas in their field or sport, folding under the pressure of society because someone had said something about the small hats. Is like, really, is it that necessary to go get that many brothers to denounce one or two people? Saddest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like I said, these brothers who are perceived alphas in their sport, in their lives, with everything they accomplish, sell out. But that's also part of it. You know, and really, I'm not trying to do a show on this just yet, but if it just gets to be too much, I will in the near future. How us brothers, again, going back to these brothers that have done extremely well with this YouTube thing, going back to that, saying that we're a bunch of weirdos with avatars. Look, I believe there would be less avatars if a lot of these folks would, if a lot of these folks were doing YouTube as a career instead of just some kind of hobby, to where they don't want to show their face. And I mean, I would say someone who is trying to make a career of YouTube, or trying to make YouTube a strong side hustle, yeah, show your face all day. But see, one thing that a lot of those people aren't thinking about, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to jump ahead of the curve. And for people who choose not to show their face, that are doing pretty good with this thing, I think there's a little insecurity going on there. But the one thing that these dudes, these dumbasses, don't realize is that a lot of people don't show their face because niggas love to sit up there and try to ruin lives based on a philosophical disagreement said on a YouTube channel. And that's pretty fucking childish. So, but by the way, my avatar is my real face. So I'm not afraid to show my face, but it's pretty much anybody's business if they don't want to do it. It's like just anything to cut niggas down. Well, you know, let me work on my context of the N word, because it's one I'm beginning to dislike myself. But anyway, anyway, embracing the white girl. That's another thing. Shoot, it almost makes you like, I'm here for the brothers. I'm here for black men. In a way, I'm probably here for the sisters too, who want to listen. But one thing I will agree with: this space is supposed to be for us, and it just feels like that you got a lot of black men who are embracing this, and it's just very disappointing. But that's another broadcast right there. I think I'm done with my foreword. So let's get to the topic. See that there are four people in the building. I really appreciate you coming in, and due to my lack of consistency, you know, I don't deserve for you guys to be here. But I really appreciate you guys showing up. I just, like I said, this is why I've been gone for the past couple weeks. I had to really reflect. Plus, I had a lot of shit going on myself. Trying to trying to maintain life, and my kid's birthday celebration was this past weekend, and we had family coming in, and we had to do various things to get the house prepared for that. So that within itself was exhausting. Probably would have been a bit more efficient with better planning on my part. But hey, you know what? Shit happens, and at the end of the day, everybody had a good time. So we got that out the way. We got that out the way. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. Long time. We are back. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So, let's get on the subject. Let's, great to be here once again. So anyway, let's talk about this rap stuff. Let's talk about this rap stuff. Now, I've talked about the Migos in the past. I have through various videos, and I mean, I'm not a Migos expert. That this is a younger crowd's music, a younger generation's music. Although I admit, Bad and Bougie has sort of a good beat to it. But in hearing about these three young men, it was various things. I never really heard anything about Takeoff up until now. I hear about Offset mostly because of his association with the Migos and his very public marriage to uh, rapper Cardi B, entertainer Cardi B. However you define your rap. Uh, Quavo, who is to your left, yeah, I've heard of him through another rapper who is a female that he was in a relationship with, Saweetie. These one thing that I do notice when I hear about the other two is, they're having female problems. I think, I haven't heard anything lately about Offset, but I never heard anything about Takeoff. Never ever heard anything about him. And a lot of words, a lot of people say on social media that the Migos really weren't about that life. Basically, they weren't about that street life. They weren't about that thug shit. That what y'all like to call that real nigga stuff, that they're basically studio. Which, that's neither here nor there because I really don't know. So, anybody, anyone, you want to drop anything in the comments that I may not know about Migos, feel free. Because, I'm not about perpetuating ignorance, saying what I think instead of, using facts, which a lot of these people do around here. So never really heard anything about Takeoff until this tragic moment. Of course, Takeoff was shot and killed last week. Just marking the death of another rapper. Yeah, just it's almost as if rappers dying is just as regular as drinking water these days. It's a really sad thing, and I'm not, I'm sympathetic. I'm not going to be one of these guys that's going to sit here and say these niggas deserve to die because I've seen that kind of commentary on social media. Yeah, there's a few that's out there that is like saying that these guys are getting what they deserve for participating in such a toxic culture, and that's not something that I would really want to spread. I mean, that's a bit tone deaf when you really think about it, saying that rappers deserve to die, and the guys that were saying that kind of thing were guys who were upset because these guys get a lot of women. It is what it is. I have always been the kind of person that has been like, look, you can do what you want to do, but you have to reap the consequences of such when things don't go your way. So I'm never gonna be mad at dudes for getting pussy. They talk this little Pookie and Ray Ray thing, which really isn't appropriate for times like these. What we need to do is, yeah, we need to take a very thorough examination of the culture that leads these young men to early graves. Yes, we do. Not treat it as, oh, fuck these dudes, they got more pussy than me. For those guys out there that believe and think that. That's really fucking stupid. And I'm when I see stuff like that, I'm starting to see why black people use this white boy word incel on other black men, because you see, well, not black men, black dudes, because anybody that glorifies such is a black dude, in my opinion. Now, as far as the accountability piece, yeah, if the whole everything going wrong on a path that you chose, if that goes for you, that goes for these rappers too. Some of these guys put themselves in situations that lead them to the early grave. And the sad part about it is sometimes it's just going back to the hood. People get psyched out about, oh, don't leave the hood, don't sell out, and I get that. I get that. You never want to forget where you came from, but when you go back to where you came from, for some reason, you run into these type of problems. Now, as far as Takeoff situation, I'm hearing he's around other people that were kind of he was in when this happened. He was surrounded by the goon culture. Guys who ain't got nothing else to do but to hurt other people in the name of other guys that's trying to be these thugs and these old Gotti types and these I want to be the Don. But the thing is, a lot of rappers who have been killed, they went back to the hood. They became successful, and it's kind of like you can take the hood out of a brother, but you can't take the brother. Well, you can take a brother out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the brother. Blah, blah, blah. You know, and I would recommend to anybody who becomes successful and becomes a public figure, if you come from those type of surroundings, my suggestion is for you to not to return to it, because it's too much jealousy for these young men. It's too much jealousy. They become famous because of a talent. They have to get in a room full of small hats and perform for them. And if they like them, shoot, they become famous. They get these $1 million contracts. They go back to the hood and floss and stunt and flex, as the young people say. And although they might have a couple people that are proud of them, yeah, brother doing his thing, there are even more guys that are jealous. A couple guys that maybe felt like it should have been them, or something as basic as, oh, he think he think he think he better than us because he making all this money and getting all these hoes. My recommendation, especially if you become an up and coming rap artist, is you do not go back to the hood, because it's like rappers are dying on a regular basis. But it's really not the rap that's doing it. Which is really the purpose of me doing this broadcast. It's not the rap that's doing it. This is not death by rap. This is not death by hip hop. Because see, they're trying to throw hip hop under the bus. I mean, they've been trying to do it for years. They calling hip hop as a reason for violent crime. And yes, if you listen to a lot of the messages in the hip hop, I mean, that is current, you're gonna follow some completely bad stuff. But it's not hip hop. It's not rap. It's niggatry. These guys are going because of death by niggatry. Nigga moments. If you ever watch the Boondocks, these guys are being caught up in nigga moments. So you can say it's rap culture, but it's not really the rap. Let me tell you just like this. Let me tell you just like this. I'm gonna tell you about the WAP argument. The WAP argument. Now, of course, WAP was that song released by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. It caused quite the stir. The argument was that, okay, that there's nothing wrong with what Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion is doing. Um, Look, it's not that bad. Um, what we used to listen to when we was kids. you know, that was the WAP argument. That they're doing nothing wrong, and it should not affect kids or anybody listening in that way because of the type of rap music that we grew up with, and we turned out okay. So if you're going to use the WAP argument, saying that it's perfectly okay, these women aren't doing any harm, what we grew up on, because I grew up listening to Too Short, NWA, Easy. Yeah, that's what I grew up listening to. But I also grew up listening to Boogie Down Productions, Eric B and Rakim, uh, who else? Pete Rock, CL Smooth, guys like Special Ed, Wu Tang Clan, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I grew up on all them guys. But when I listened to them, I didn't have 8 Ball MJG, UGK. Did I want to go out there and do all that shit they were talking about in that music? Maybe the shit Two Live Crew was talking about. Yeah, maybe that. But all that stuff that was gonna get me killed, hell no. So how is it? My point in saying all of this is, how is it that can we use this whole toxic rap culture narrative if when women do stuff, or and then this is not to compare to women, this, but it is what it is. When they're sitting up there twerking and popping their pussies, it's not supposed to affect them in any kind of negative way because of what we used to grow up with. So why can we use that argument? Rap is getting them killed. Nah, I mean, in a way, but not through like some type of weird mind control. Now, when they're now, I will say this: quiet as it's kept, if there's not a strong parental foundation, you allow certain negative influences to enter that child's life. When you're not a good parent, when you're fucking up, when you're being completely lazy as shit, when you have a baby for a check, when you're a deadbeat that is, if you were even present, it will cause more harm than good to the child. Yes, something like rap music and negative images could possibly have a negative influence. Could possibly. Not saying that it's a huge possibility, but a possibility nonetheless. I hope y'all press like, whoever's watching out there. And for those of you that are watching this on demand replay, please hit that like button, please. Because it's every day black men get thrown under the bus for some reason. And yes, you're going to see it if Stacey Abrams doesn't win tomorrow, because that's all that. Now, that's another conversation. Let me not get too far off track. Shoot. And if anybody needs to discuss these kind of things, it's black men, definitely. But yeah, when you have a weak parental custodial foundation with a child, all kinds of influences, negative influences could impact. But what's getting these rappers killed is niggotry, nigga moments, dudes that ain't had no home training, dudes that believe that there's actually a such thing as a street gangster. you know that street credibility is going to get you far in life. but you always seem to die young. It's a shame for me to see these young men, I mean, pass away like that. We 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 pass away because of bad health, and we pass away because of violence. And yes, it does happen every day. Niggas die every day, B. Yeah, it happens every day. You know, some of y'all done had some family members out there that died because of nigga moments. This ain't no special event because Takeoff was one of the guys who got killed. I mean, it's a shame. My condolences to his family and his brethren, but it is what it is. It happens. People die. But we need to get to the bottom of this shit. It ain't just about, a form of music that y'all been trying to say, because here's why some people are mad at rap music anyway. Rap music started to becoming a clapback for what black men were receiving from the media and from a lot of these old feminists. Okay, since you want to say this, hey, we'll explain the reason why this is going on. And rap music was a vehicle for that. And let me tell y'all something too. Although there's a lot of garbage out there, there's a lot of independent rappers out there that still do that good shit. You just gotta go find it. Compartmentalizing rap into this violent culture is the narrative that is being pushed by the mainstream media. And for those who choose to follow that narrative, uh, I'm kind of gonna be with the guys that I was kind of complaining with earlier. Yeah, you kind of deserve what you get. You kind of deserve what you get if you believe that those guys actually seriously live that life, which some of them do, and a lot of them do as of late, because they seem to be picking more morons than artists. Because I was telling somebody that the other day, they're picking the craziest dudes out there. They're picking the craziest, most degenerate scumbags out there, and they're giving them rap contracts instead of picking these poetic, fundamental artists that graced us and dominated hip hop at one point. You still can find some pretty good rap out there. Hell, shoot, some of the more recent guys like Kendrick Lamar, he's pretty good. So I just want brothers to stop destroying each other. I understand that I'm just one person. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It ain't just about what I want. It isn't. It's not just about what the individual wants. It's what's best for the collective. And what's best for the collective really is niggas just need to stop killing each other. Why not live a long and, and productive life that you can look back on and say, hey, I really did something with this motherfucker. So, Greg, what is up? Good to see you, my brother. So unfortunate we keep losing black men to the gun. Yeah, yeah, it is. But it's a lot of the times, and in Takeoff's case, is other black men that's doing it. What creates this mentality that you are so malicious and hateful toward another brother that you'll want to see him dead? I understand that that's the case if, something bad happens because of a brother to one of your family members. Or you're trying to stop a loved one from receiving serious harm from a person. Yeah, by all means, do what you got to do. But little spats, arguments, word on the street has it that Quavo the guy to your left, all the way to your left, had gotten into an argument with Jay Prince. They said one of the shots was fired. One guy grabbed Takeoff and shot him in the back of the head and proceeded to use him as a shield to keep himself from getting shot, which resulted in a second gunshot wound. Now I can't confirm if this is true. You know, you little dirt, you read little dirt sheet articles here and there. But you know, I've heard about Jay Prince before. I heard about when him, this was years and years ago, him, Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Dame Dash were going to put up $20 million a piece to start black owned distribution. But the feds busted these guys up. And also, word on the street is that 50 Cent ratted these guys out. this is this. I don't know if you guys heard this, but you know, I remember things that happened from a while back. So all of this outpour of sympathy for 50 Cent with his son, I mean, it was a very Manosphere esque conversation. I get it, you know, the little boy was kind of raised in an effeminate, entitled way. And this is what we hate to see young black men go through, because a lot of that kind of raising and kind of upbringing produces these guys that become killers. They want to kill each other. You know how when people say black men want to kill each other. But as far as 50 Cent go, if you remember everything that nigga was involved in, I don't believe you'll have much sympathy for him. But, you know, Suge Knight, Jay Prince, Dame Dash, and Irv Gotti were going to put up $20 million a piece to start distribution. And, you know, the powers that be, you know, some might speculate that it's the small hats wasn't having that shit. You know, if we had our own distribution, we wouldn't have to go through them, and they wouldn't have so much power. And you wouldn't have all these old give up ass NBA players. Oh, oh my God. How dare you, Kyrie? But yeah, we're in a lot of shit, black man, with each other. I hope that, you know, the number of level headed black men increase. You know, black men that make it to ages in their mid 40s, such as myself. You know, and the reasons why I'm still here to this day is the fact that I've avoided stupid shit. I've avoided the nigga moments. Whenever I seen a nigga moment coming, I would try to avoid that situation as much as possible. Because you know, when I see this, it can't end good for somebody. I just want to make sure that somebody isn't me. Shoot, do you think that I want to get caught up in some shit with some dudes that would rather call me lame because I want to stay out of trouble? Kiss my ass. Kiss. They can be as thuggy as they want. Not me. Not at all. Shoot, I'm tired of hearing about brothers dying, even if they are rappers. I don't care how many hoes they get. That is not my issue. If you a brother that's jealous of these dudes because of hoes, man, dude, create a savings account and just trick the money off. Get that sexual frustration off of you. You glad that rappers are dying. Anyway, shit. What I'm saying at the end of the day is that is not rap culture. It's a bunch of misguided fucking people that don't value human life. And that is all there is to it. You can call it rap all you want to. The reason why people call it rap is because they don't want to blame their lack of parenting. They don't want to say, hey, I fucked up this kid's life. That's very cowardly. A bunch of dumbass niggas that couldn't grow up to be nothing but a damn goon to another even smarter criminal than who they are. If the Jay Prince situation is the case, shoot, if Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, Dame Dash, and Jay Prince were successful at starting distribution, would it have ultimately worked out for the long term, or would it have caved in because Suge Knight was involved in the shit that he was in? Irv Gotti might have been involved in some shady shit. Yeah, Irv Gotti was fucking up too. Jay Prince is supposed to be this big time gangster. Dame Dash might be the most straight and narrow guy out the whole thing, but hey, you never know with these motherfuckers. These dudes are always trying to have a mafia. And my belief is black unity a lie? It's more of a question, not a belief. I would like to believe that black unity isn't a lie. But I mean, the more and more I see stuff like this, and and like I said, this is just something to talk about. My heart's not bleeding that badly. There are other people that go through other shit. There's people dying from cancer out there. There's people dying from getting hit by buses. This is just something that's in the public eye. But anyway, let me look through these comments. Anthony Drosos, what's going on? People are so ruthless on social media. I mean, what's the value of that ruthlessness? It's a Wi-Fi connection. It's like the ruthlessness that people in the savagery that people display on social media is simply because they are on a Wi-Fi connection, and there is no consequence they have to suffer if that person ain't standing 3 feet in front of them. There's a lot of bitch assness out here. Yeah. The black community is full of emotions. Thank the single yeah. Yeah, we're a very emotionally driven culture. That's why these dudes that's why these dudes don't want to throw hands no more. They just want to shoot. Don't nobody want to fight no more. These niggas scared. They pussies. So many dudes are shaming passport bros. I could care less where a man sticks his Johnson as long as it ain't with my family members and close female friends. These motherfuckers act like I mean like I be telling my like, why don't y'all just start holding these guys' dicks for them since y'all so goddamn concerned? Give a fuck what these dudes do. I mean, shit. I mean, but my thing is, if it ever becomes a discussion, and if a passport bro is actually wrong about something, yeah, I will challenge it, just like I will challenge anything that's wrong that anyone says, whether they are a passport bro, a feminist, a hotep, any of these types, a misandrist. If you're wrong, you have to be challenged. Period. But outside of that, now you're right about that hybrid. Never forget where you came from, but don't come back though. Like Morgan Freeman from the Shawshank Redemption. Shoot, yeah, man. Look. It's like MC Hammer said. I'm an older cat, so is I'm gonna bring up stuff from the past a lot. I mean, y'all call me an old nigga all you want. I mean, shit, your life ain't etched in stone yet, so be careful, just like I did. I'll say that. MC Hammer was doing a TV interview. I believe it was like it might have been Yo MTV Raps or Rap City, one of them places. He was saying that look, a lot of people don't go back to their old neighborhoods. I mean, let me give you an example. You got your flashy new car, you visit your mother, pull up in your mother's driveway, and I mean, go in the house, you come back out, your tires are on flat. Somebody done slash your tires because they hate the fact that you succeed. They're haters. Shoo. You're risking your life trying to go home. If you stay in one of them volatile hoods. You're absolutely risking your life. And for what? Why is it that way? Why is it that way? Why is it so stupid? Why are people so stupid these days? I mean, it ain't like it's these days. This shit been going on for the longest. Hell, MC Hammer said this shit in like 1990. And rappers dying. I mean, let me see. Scott LaRock. Scott LaRock was like KRS-One's best friend, and just a member of Boogie Down Productions. When Scott LaRock died, I mean, the internet wasn't even out yet. I mean, you had radio, magazines, stuff like that. It was one of the most shocking things that ever happened in the hip hop world at the time. So this rappers dying ain't nothing new. It's just that in 2022, it's less shocking. It's less shocking, but it's still just as much of a shame. If they can kill Nipsey Hussle, even though he came to give back to the hood, they can kill any rapper that comes back to the hood. Exactly. Shoot, we had one in Montgomery, a guy named Doe B. He had broken to the mainstream, started working with, like, he started working with T.I. in his little rap clique. I mean, this was after, I think this was after, I think this was probably a part of Grand Hustle, but, but anyway, shoot, dude got killed in a nightclub that I lived down the street from growing up in Montgomery, Alabama. All because he couldn't stay away from the hood. He went back. I ain't gonna never forget my people. Yeah, your people ain't gonna forget you either. They gonna snuff you out. She was a shame. Like Montgomery finally had a rapper representing them, representing us, and when we killed him. Anthony Drosos. There is a conspiracy theory that the music industry pushed gangster rap to feed the private prison system. Oh, you're talking about the letter. You're talking about the letter, that little letter that I guess is music music industry aficionado um, wrote, saying that there was this meeting that we pretty much made a deal with the private prisons. We can profit from this as well, and they had to sign this this NDA saying that they would never tell what happened at the meeting, and the person who put that out there was anonymous. But it does make sense though. It does make sense because hip hop at one point took a real dark turn. It took a real 180 at one point. You know, because when the street started getting really bad, hip hop tried to put out a bunch of positive messages. They came out with that song "Self Destruction." Self destruction. You're headed for self destruction. It was Boogie Down Productions and a lot of the East Coast rappers, and then the West Coast rappers came out, with that song "We're All in the Same Gang." And then it was after that that rap started getting even more, engulfed into that thug culture. Telling you that selling drugs basically was a good idea. They always throw in denigrating women. I would never fully believe that hip hop was just out there to denigrate women, because hip hop had women involved. You had Queen Latifah, MC Light, Da Brat, Moni Love. You had JJ Fad, Salt and Pepper, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim. I mean, you had all these female rappers, and people want to go back to what NWA used to say about "I ain't the one. I ain't finna let no gold digger play me," or some shit like that. Or Too Short. She sucked my dick and then a nut and then Two Live Crew. I would say, look, unless they had a gun in them girls' head and made them dance, that is not their fault. you know, is that. But see, that's what they used to say. That rap denigrated females. Encourage brothers to do bad things like kill each other for over money. Um, is and you also started to notice things about hip hop as time went on. It not only encouraged, the the criminal behavior, but it also, a lot of these hip hop songs became commercials for products. Shoot, like I give an example. Jay Z and Cristal. Yeah, Rick Ross used to be a commercial too. Rose, like Young Jeezy talked about Vizu jeans and eating at Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Just a ploy to put money in the hands of motherfuckers that didn't look like us for real, by the culture of influence that these rappers were offering. So yeah, so yeah. Music can be a very powerful thing, especially without a lack of guidance for the children. Facts hybrid. Judge Dre said nope, and I am from Cleveland. I never wanted to be on the streets they were talking about. Yeah, I have to understand. Grown men on grown men shit. Said just because we grew up on gangster rap doesn't mean WAP is good. Two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah, but that's the argument they used. That's the argument they used, which means that you can't really use the rap argument if you're going to do that. If you're going to give them a pass, you might as well give all of it a pass, and all of it doesn't deserve a pass. Ray Hummer, the Hummer Force, what's going on? Infantry skills. After carefully assessing hip hop during its 30-year growth, it's logical to say that it is a horrible influence on children. We couldn't say that in the 90s because hip hop was still young. And also, you also have to understand that there were all kinds of hip hop though. There were hip hop that leaned in that way, but there was also a lot of poetic hip hop as well. A lot of hip hop that tried to get you on your purpose. A lot of hip hop that that was about black culture. It wasn't all negative. Ray Hummer, the Hummer Force. What's going on? Greg said it's called envying crabs in a barrel. Yeah, yeah. A lot of what's getting these rappers killed is jealousy from their peers. They want, I want what he got. I want to get me some hoes. It says Scarface, E40, and Too Short still living. So is Willie D. Willie D, a content creator on YouTube. Which, by the way, he said some shit that pissed me off. You know, we so ruthless and savage, and somebody pissed me off to the point where I took a shot at his, took a shot at his people, and that was very that's not me. That's not me to sit there and sit up there and talk about people's people. But yeah, Willie D said that Kanye West's mother didn't die, because of a complication to a surgery. He said she probably killed herself because of her son, and that was highly inappropriate. And Willie D do be on some bullshit. But then he comments on the backlash he received, and he was like, "Oh, they're trying to bully me. I'm not going to allow you to bully me." I'm like, "You shouldn't have said that fuck ass shit." However, they got Kyrie apologizing now. I wouldn't exactly call that an apology per se, but they're trying to do this whole six requirements before he plays for the Nets again that he got to do. Then all this he got to do all this. He got to apologize over and over again, and what my honest belief is that's just a plot to overshadow the struggles of Black America. I mean, I don't have to be one of these brothers that have to make everything about racism, but it sure is strange to me the lengths they would go to shame black men. You know, you're saying somebody has control of the things and then they get offended and then display that very control. What's going on, D and Chris L? Said like Neely Fuller says, black peoples need to stay away from I, I think you mean one another, but yeah, sad facts, man, sad facts. RPM, what is up, man? Good to see you. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power says a woman gets overly emotional, they yell, fuss, and cry. A man gets overly emotional, somebody might die. Yeah, somebody said, another content creator, which I can't stand right now, said something to the effect of, an emotional black man is very dangerous. Man, by the way it looks, from the way it looks, that might actually be the case. Emotion is not always necessarily a bad thing, but it's used as a smug dig at someone. Stop being emotional. You know how feminists are. I am I have to be emotional because of my challenges as a woman's. You know, but when it's a guy, when it's a young guy, young black male, single mom raised, he adopts the emotions of his mother. So what he does is he spazzes out and reacts to everything like a bitch. And sometimes that does result in the death of another individual. And a lot of those times, those individuals be innocent bystanders. They don't even be the target. So yeah, he died trying to break up a gang fight. Are you talking about, is that Takeoff or did I or Scott LaRock? D, are you in Alabama? I'm from Alabama, but I'm not in Alabama. I don't live in Alabama at this point, but I am from Montgomery. Blu-ray, Big Kid, you finally back? Yeah, I had some family stuff that I had to handle. That's all. I knew it was like a couple weeks, and I was supposed to go on last week, and I was gonna really, really start. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really was gonna go in on this space. I'm trying not to because I'm not trying to push against the effort for black men to have our own media. But Jesus Christ, come on, guys. We but that might very well still be another broadcast. Willie D is out of order for talking about Kanye that way. Facts. We listen to Outkast, Bone, Do or Die, No Limit, Cash Money when I was a young cat in the 1990s for the most part. I listen to all of those people too. But you know, Outkast, but Outkast, no, they weren't bad at all. You know, they might have talked about some of their experiences in the street, but Outkast to me is like the greatest hip hop duo of all time. Name one that's better. And I mean, like, you know, I wouldn't even say a lot of the New York cats could hold a candle to Outkast, and that might be saying a lot. Nice and Smooth, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Eric B and Rakim. I mean, shit. Outkast to me, they just was the shit. They're just like the greatest of all time. Phil Brad, what is up? Salt and Pepper did a Geico commercial. Salt, Pepper, and Spinderella, they just accepted some kind of award together. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll never forget the moment that Pepper throated a cucumber. Boy, I was like, God damn. This was years and years ago. I think this was probably right after she broke up with Tretch. That's why she had that dude crazy. But I was like, damn. But I heard Salt and Pepper had fell out with Spinderella at one point, but to see them together again, that was pretty cool. Southpaw 2K1 says, how did Ye's mom delete herself while doing an operation? This is one thing I don't like black people doing. Every time you philosophically disagree with someone, or you know, or they don't, or disagree, period. Like people will go in on not only that person itself, but their family members, and that's just in very very poor taste. Like, you know, say for instance, you know, I've had these things happen before, and I might, like I said, I own it. I might be guilty of it a couple times myself. You know, one guy made me so mad yesterday on Facebook. I finally said it, man. Shit, it just look, dude. All that simping in the world ain't gonna help your mother. And you know, yeah, that was in poor taste. I admit to an amount of accountability for that. But if you knew who this guy was, you probably say, "Yeah, I see why Kev might have got to that point." But at the end of the day, I was wrong. And at the end of the day, Willie D was super wrong for that. Cause Willie D, he has a tendency to be a little simp sometimes. And I mean, like, if y'all watch his content, you would know exactly what I mean. Baby and Lil Wayne are good. Man, you get the fuck up out of here with that. That's why Yellow Whale that one. Stunting like my daddy. Man, dude. Like, Baby and Diddy, man, I don't know who ruins songs worse. Like, they be having, like, they artists drop these bars. And then when they come in and do their part, it's just like, ugh. My God, why did y'all ruin them songs like that? Lil Wayne though, Lil Wayne giving his props. I used to listen to a lot of Lil Wayne. Shoot, but listen up, guys. Listen up. It's been an hour. Uh, Yeah, let's oh, okay. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I got a question for y'all. I got a question for y'all. Will y'all be checking out the new Black Panther movie coming out this Friday? See what kind of answers I get on this. But just and this Sunday, I'm gonna be the Black Manosphere show of the week, and it'll probably be on black male representation since Black Panther Wakanda Forever is coming out. I'm going to see the film. Um, it is not because I'm excited about it. Uh, likely, likely do a review on our entertainment channel, The Black Dimension. I'm not, like I said, I'm not excited about it because all I've heard from the actors and the people involved and the director are a bunch of excuses. I'm not really feeling the Disney Marvel product anymore because I mean, if okay, if I write a book and it sucks, okay, people are gonna say it sucks. My response isn't gonna be to call y'all a bunch of incels. It is that simple. The thing is with Marvel is Marvel set the bar so high in phase one, two, and three that phase four has just bombed. And phase four is bombed is because each phase of Marvel should pay a homage to the previous phase. And what they have done is insult the ones that made phase one, two, and three so cool because they want to shoehorn a lot of these messages about diversity and representation and inclusion. And as a heterosexual black man, I don't see any representation. Not that it's something that I really care about per se, but when you refuse to recast the most powerful, prolific black man in the Marvel universe, then that says a lot about how you feel about black men and black boys. And yeah, it's not our shit anyway. It's not our property anyway. They can do whatever they want to with it. Plus, these are characters of fiction. But don't go around using this bullshit representation, diversity, inclusion messages if it doesn't actually have any kind of inclusivity for my kind of people. You're trying to make my kind of people look weak as fuck, and I don't appreciate it. So just say that, but just for the ones who do get enjoyment out of it, hey, knock yourself out. I'm not gonna insult you. I'm gonna say Woman King Energy. That's one movie I didn't go see because the movie, first of all, is a goddamn lie. Number two is pandering at an all time level. They are ruining the Marvel series we grew up on. Imagine being a comic book reader, having to weather all these insults from people calling you a dork and a nerd, and then you grow up and see it brought to life in live action, and they completely fuck up the character. Now, you being a comic book reader, you telling everyone this character was never about this, that, and the other, and they're insulting you again. Everything doesn't have to be exactly like the comic books. That's the first argument they'll use on you. Everything doesn't have to be like the comic books. What is the first thing they say about Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Shuri became Black Panther in the comic books. It's comic book accurate. This is why this, like I said, and this is why Western culture is becoming dumber and dumber. Absalom Pianki TV, what's going on? The comic book. Everything ain't got to be like the comic books. It's like we know, but everything ain't gotta suck either. But that'll probably I will probably center my Black Manosphere show of the week on Sunday around this very topic. So hopefully I see you guys there, but I'll probably have a couple shows before then. Yeah. Oh yeah. Tomorrow. For those of you who reside in Georgia, the race for the governor will be decided between Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams. And it looks a lot like Brian Kemp is gonna win. And guess what? They are and the media has already started because Stacey Abrams' poll numbers aren't looking that good. Get ready, black man. They are about to blame you for this. And my thing is, should we go ahead and embrace it? I don't know. I might change my Black Manosphere show of the week to that. Should we embrace if Stacey Abrams loses? Because I mean, she's blaming us, and I'm sitting up there like, you're blaming us for an L that you have not received yet. Them poll numbers must be really bad. Just in case I lose, I'm gonna blame black men. It looks a lot like I'm gonna lose. RPM says yes. I'm tired of the excuses. I've been buying comics since a child. Most of the people giving the pushback don't know anything outside of the echo chamber of agenda. There's a lot of copy and paste thoughts going around. It's a lot of people reading other folks' comments and then they're regurgitating what these people are saying, and ain't read a comic book. You, the people who say it sure become Black Panther in the comics, I haven't seen one comic sale because people will post one comic book page or something like that, or an issue, or this is where she was Black Panther and all this other stuff. From what I'm hearing, she was only Black Panther for a few issues, which if you wanted comic book accuracy, you should have just recast T'Challa and had him do the back and forth between him and Namor, or as they call him in the MCU, Namora. Namor. I saw that shit. I almost threw something at the TV. And then they got this Black Panther special, and then they just pushing it to women, 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 women. I said, dude, like seriously though, as black men, that's not really something that we should be supporting. You should feel kind of betrayed. So, hey, whatever. Say let them blame because it will show black men are voting with their feet. It will show that black disrespected black men. Well, okay, let me see if I can correct that. It will show that disrespecting black men has its consequences. Oh yeah, Tiffany Cross. Tiffany Cross got let go from MSNBC. Mrs. You Kevin Samuels and Tariq Nasheed followers, you just get in line. I said she lost her job. I said, when are these women gonna learn that they are being used? They are just being used. But anyway, if Stacey Abrams loses, Hell, I might do a broadcast, claiming the responsibility for black men. Yeah, it was us, bitch. We ain't vote for you. But see, like I said, and you can use this. Any of you watching can use this argument. What about Andrew Gillum pre-scandal when he ran for governor down in Florida? Remember, B Dubs voted for him at 83%. And I do not want to hear that. And don't accept that scandal shit when you make that argument. Because that was pre scandal. Nobody knew that about Andrew Gillum when that happened. 83%. But then voted for the white Democratic senator at 94%. A white senator that was older than Bernie Sanders got more votes from black women than Andrew Gillum. So when they start going on their little tirades blaming black men for Stacey Abrams losing, it is complete and utter nonsense. Well, not nonsense. It is complete and utter hypocrisy. Malika Andrews' time is coming too. Yeah, they're exalting her as the next big black man hater on ESPN. Oh man, look, ESPN, I could give two shits about it at this point. Like I said, I ain't never been so disappointed in brothers in my life. And then this vouching for other groups and white acceptance is just gets under my fucking skin like none other. And speaking of white acceptance, no, not yet. Look at RPM trying to be a bad influence on me. Claiming the responsibility for black men. Yeah, bitch, we did it. But you know what though? You know what? That has to be supported by the numbers. But it was definitely a horrible campaign strategy to sit up there and attack black men before the election. Let me see if I can show y'all these articles. See if I can show y'all this article real quick. Stacey Abrams, she was with that whole heartbeat thing. The child doesn't have an actual heartbeat. That's just something that men use to control women's bodies. Oh, here we go. I want y'all to see this bullshit. So I'm just saying, we might as well run with it. Yeah, here we are. Hey, I'm gonna put it on the screen in just a second. You know, black men just hating on black women. That's all they gonna say. That's all they've been saying. This is why. This is why I question these old simps that are oblivious to reality. What the hell wrong with y'all? I don't care how much you simp, they're gonna continue to say stuff like this about you. Stacey Abrams claims black men fooled by misinformation are dampening her poll numbers. I want y'all to see this. Take a good look. This is so fucking typical. This is so typical of how Western culture and a white controlled media and what a white controlled media thinks of black men. To use us as the patsy, to throw us under the bus for the failures of another person. Stacey Abrams lost the first time. You know why? Because she just didn't prove that she was the candidate that Georgia needed. She didn't prove that she was the governor that Georgia needed, and she did a pretty awful job proving that this time around too. Why should we care? I mean, I've even talked to black women that question Stacey Abrams. I don't know. I don't know about voting for Stacey Abrams. I don't know. Like shit. So it ain't just black men. This is if you're trying to get black men to vote for you, this is a horrible fucking way of doing it. And then plus I heard about a little town hall meeting as well. Appealing to black men by talking about the LGBT community. How in the fuck do you do that? So I just wanted to peep that out, you know. And it's a shame that black men are perceived this way. That's all I'll say. They're perceived this way. And then you have shit like what happened to Takeoff happen. And hybrid. And hybrid. Notice they are not going to tell you what this misinformation is. They put a segment with Malika Andrews and Ty Dolla Sign and DJ Mustard scratching and making beats. It looks so forced, like a PR stunt. That's how they get that was just for them to get you to accept Malika Andrews, and you know why they are always using rappers and rap and music culture to try to appeal to blacks, and just instead of just talking to us straight up about our concerns. It's like when Kamala Harris was wearing Timberlands and her and Hillary Clinton talking about I keep hot sauce in my bag and all this other shit. And then she's sitting up here talking about Wakanda forever. You don't have to treat us like a bunch of dummies that just use cultural references. Even though, yes, a lot of black voters do fall for that shit. Talk to us straight up. They won't have to worry about babies because so many black men are not procreating. There's an outrage because sperm banks are running low on black DNA. Okay, whatever. They hate us. We're dusty. We're losers. Fuck them. Misinformation, huh? Now we know who you are. Misinformation. Black men are being influenced by misinformation. Guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna start. What she's trying to do is she's gonna try to point the finger at Kevin Samuels and Tariq Nasheed again. I mean, she ain't gonna be able to use Tiffany Cross. I mean, they fired her ass. No voted, no bucket. Get your booty. Yeah, just get your booty to the pole. Yeah. Like, man, let me tell you something, man. The day these Western culture thoughts give up dick, man, that's the day when hell freezes over. So, I mean, shit. But like I was saying, it's a shame that brothers go through all of that, and then we have a very destructive element about us that just want to destroy everything and destroy lives. But it's just a shame to look at. So for those brothers, y'all get it together. And I say y'all with special emphasis because I ain't out there doing stupid shit. So, all these old disingenuous bitch ass niggas and these bitches that will sit up there and say, well, black men, we need to stop killing each other. Black men need to just shut the fuck up. First of all, I ain't do none of that stupid shit. That's number one. I ain't do none of that stupid shit. If I wasn't in a situation where I couldn't throw hands to solve the problem, I was not involved. Number two, stop validating these guys if you feel like it's such a problem. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of talking about who's fucking who, shit, y'all validate these niggas every day. You keep getting pregnant by them. I mean, that's on you. That ain't on me. Shit. If you really want the problem solved. Shoot. Well, I'll tell you the truth. Logic escapes us sometimes. But logic doesn't escape me. I might do another broadcast poking fun at pro blacks again. Because pro blacks always find these miserable ass excuses not to support black for real. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on their asses. And all of you bigger content creators that want to shit on us live streamers and call us struggle streamers, and you know who you are, O'Shea and mediocre tutorials and reviews and guys like that. Don't worry, I will be getting to you guys very shortly. Kev's tired of the bullshit. And I spent a couple weeks thinking long and hard about that shit too. Brothers should be helping brothers. Brothers making news by destroying each other. And them niggas want to say all the bullshit they say. So, hey, you know what? I'm this kind of guy. No one's too big for me. No one. Believe me. I see you guys as individuals, not as 6-digit subscriber counts. Even though maybe I should, because at this level is clout chasing, or it could be perceived as clout chasing. But listen up, for you smaller content creators out there, you got every right to defend yourself and defend your space, whatever you consider your space to be. Fuck them niggas. They lost touch. Lead attorney too. Coach Greg Adams, all them niggas. I'm not gonna approach it like your basic hater though. These black men, all they do is talk about the women's SBE. No, I'm gonna approach it in a very new fashion. RPM, MTR ain't spending any real game. MTR is a light skinned nigga to the fucking core. And that's not to offend any of you light skinned folks out there that may be watching. Not all light skinned people are like that. MTR is just has a very just this stereotypical light skinned mentality. Like I believe that all those light skinned memes apply to him. Who remember that? Who remember that? Who remember that meme how light skinned niggas do their taxes and then they had Prince had a laptop in his drawers. Like the black manosphere was responsible for their success. Definitely. What pissed me off about MTR, he was like Kevin Samuels didn't want to be a part of the manosphere. I said that man dead. If that man wanted people to know that, he would have said it himself when he was alive. The fuck are you at the end of the day? Just because you took pictures with Kevin Samuels in front of a Valentine's Day banner. Fuck. Those content creators got too big for their those content creators got too big for their britches. And you know what's funny about those britches? Anytime the gynocracy and feminism come knock at their door, they gonna bend over and spread their cheeks. You can see it in a lot of the content that they do. Prime V8757. The SBE stuff sound like a defeatist mindset and it's inconsistent. It's inconsistent because guys are using it in the wrong context. I understand where the originators of the terminology are coming from. I do understand that. But dudes just be throwing it up like it's goddamn just use it for any motherfucking thing. KS would have never made a video like MTR did about leaving the spirit. Kevin never did, but MTR did. Yeah. These dudes always making videos about leaving the space. Boo hoo. So the fuck what? Go. Leave. Bye. And then want to come back and shit on guys like me. Struggle streamer. Fuck you, dude. Y'all ain't got no production value. All y'all come up here and do is talk shit. And all y'all do is talk about women. You're talking about the women's. Nigga, I'll talk about whoever the fuck I want to talk about. Come shut me up. That go for any of y'all. Lead attorney said when he addresses black issue, he doesn't call it the black manosphere. He said he calls it black centric content. I don't give a fuck what he calls it. He can call it Timbuktu for all I fucking care. Shoot, and I mean, like, look, I'm not mad at their success. I'm just mad at their mentalities. But you know, I put about 3 shows worth of thoughts out there in an hour and a half. It was originally about the rappers and how the rap culture is being used as a patsy for niggatry. And at the end of the day, the problem is niggatry. And it's niggatry at a lot of levels. My hope, and I know hope is a 4 letter word around this place, is that we start being black men and not niggas. However you may perceive that. There is a war, from what I can see, between black men and niggas. And every day they have some type of catastrophic result. No pun intended, hybrid. But it is when are we gonna learn that this is not getting us anywhere? We have that Triple X Kid Boo guy, whom I've never heard of. He dead. Shit, I had a whole list of motherfuckers that was dead. Pop Smoke, he dead. It's too many for me to name at this point. I mean, Tupac and Biggie, like they were that there was a long time, and then all of a sudden, rapper dead, rapper dead, rapper dead, rapper dead, rapper dead, rapper dead. So anyway, hopefully things will get better, but I'm about to dip out this piece. I'll try not to stay away again for such an extended period of time. And always check out my community tab. You know, that's one of the bigger indications that, you know, I'm still alive. So uh King Von, Mo 3, Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle. A guy that gave back to his hood and they destroyed him for it. Young Dolph. Yeah. Stack bundled. XXS 10 10 I can never uh say his name right. But I know his side name was Kid Boo. So, black men, remember we are powerful. There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. We got to be a collective unit. We got to get rid of the bullshit, though. I told a pro black that yesterday. As long as it's a world that my daughter exists in, I could care less about y'all dumbass feelings. I'm going to say what's right. It's not pro black to sit up there and ignore things because you have a daughter. And this was a guy was like this guy was saying, that he doesn't co-sign with the manosphere because he has a daughter and his daughter is he feels as if the manosphere is trying to stigmatize his daughter and mislead his son. I was like, man, if you get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. uh, I said, hey, you know what, I have a daughter too, but the thing is, what that means that, you know, I would like for females older than her to set good examples. Shoot, if I can't get that, then I'm going to give my daughter a lot of examples of what not to do and how not to be. She doesn't have to be stigmatized. Shit. Tired of these old simps and these old slow tep pro blacks ignoring shit just to pacify a horrible group of people. That's not pro black at all. Well, look at some of these names Hybrid put up here. And this is why I'm so grateful for the chats that I have. Rest in peace to all those guys. Mr. Mills called me old. I'm 38, but I don't listen to any of these rappers. Me neither. Me neither. But they're relevant to someone. I mean, we had the television, we had word of mouth, and we had our record stores telling us who the latest guys were. They got the internet. Gen Z is struggling in terms of values. Older women should have been educating young girls on how to be wives. But they listen to them white feminists tell them that that is a form of slavery. So they bought into it and they believe it. And all they done is all it has done for them is turn them into a bunch of bitter bitches who do nothing but complain on the internet about men. It hasn't worked out for them. Maybe if they took 5 minutes and washed some goddamn dishes, maybe their lives would be better. But but I mean, shit. Their problem is that they choose to be that way. We're not making that choice for them. They choose to listen to that bullshit. And let's end it with this: most rappers die by the gun. That it may as well be characterized as natural causes. Yeah, that is a damn shame, but some truth in that statement. So anyway, that's it. And Greg, thank you for the cash app. Really appreciate the support. You guys have been excellent once again. Things are gonna get a bit more interesting around here. Because shit, someone's got to do it. This channel is called Black Men Being Brutally Honest, which invites black men, not just the channel creator, to be brutally honest with these people, and that includes everyone. So if you have to be brutally honest with one of these sack chasing ass bitches out here, be brutally honest with them. Be brutally honest with a white man. Keep the same energy for another black man. A black man with good intentions, give him the benefit of a doubt. But the fact of the matter is, we haven't been honest with ourselves. So shit like this is necessary. And with that being said, I'm out of here. Long live the habitual line steppers, and Kev, we trust we are going to win. Peace out.
Now